On this vote, the yeas are 214 and the nays are 213. The resolution is adopted.
House lawmakers have voted to impeach Homeland Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas over the nation's border crisis. The 214 to 213 vote tonight came a week after the previous vote to impeach Mayorkas failed. House Majority Leader Steve Scalise, who missed that attempt while being treated for blood cancer, helped provide that crucial vote the GOP needed this time around. Now, this is just the second time in American history a cabinet member has been impeached. The move is largely symbolic as the Democratic-controlled Senate is likely to acquit Mayorkas.
Congressman Nick Langworthy was one of the members of the GOP to vote to impeach Mayorkas, and he joins us now fresh from the floor and in D.C. Congressman, thank you so much for staying up with us here at 10 o'clock and joining us. So I want to ask by starting by asking two questions. What do you believe the GOP intended to get across in terms of their mission message for this vote, which of course was a close one? And then do you quite frankly think that it will lead to some changes on the border? Because both sides agree it is a complete disaster.
Well, both sides agree right now, at least in their public rhetoric, but really the proof is in the results. This administration, for the last 3 years, has allowed 8.3 million people to come across the southern border. And I think this was an important step forward after a year-long investigation to Secretary Mayorkas' dereliction of duty at the southern border. We believe he's violated his oath of office. He has lied to Congress. He has absolutely violated the laws of the country by, violating our detention policies and allowing the catch and release programs that Joe Biden has put forward. He's executed those. So to get the attention of this administration that we mean business on the border, real meaningful change like we've put in our signature legislation, H.R. 2, the strongest border security bill in our nation's history, that we need action. And if they're not going to do it, we're going to hold his cabinet secretary accountable for this.
But Nick, and if I may follow up on that, again, what could happen in the event? Now, tomorrow is a new day. Mayorkas is gone. He's been impeached. Now, of course, we have to go through the Senate. In the event, let's just say, hypothetically speaking, the Senate votes to uphold this vote by the House, and he is fully impeached. What happens on that second day? With this man out of this particular office, what specifically happens at the border?
Well, by putting charges forward on this president's cabinet, we have taken a step that hasn't been taken in over 100 years on the impeachment of a cabinet secretary. I have no belief that the Senate will actually remove him from office. I believe they lack the courage to make that move. But this holds the president accountable. We're talking about this here tonight at the lead of the news. This is a critical story. Our southern border is an inferno right now. We had 1 million people in the last fiscal year alone come across the border illegally. That's more than the population of Erie County. Think about that. Just put that in context. 8.3 million people have invaded this country since Joe Biden took office. It's extraordinary. We are less safe and Americans' lives are on the line. And we see this with the deadly fentanyl that comes across our border every single day. And it's made every community a border community. But this puts them on notice. The border is on the ballot in 2024. And sadly, we have to take these extraordinary measures to get the president's attention.
You mentioned on the ballot in 2024, there is rhetoric out there that GOP lawmakers aren't really going to do anything, because it's a big part of what Trump is pushing for as he's, going toward the White House. So what do you have to say about that rhetoric that is out there?
Well, it's very convenient for people that don't want to accomplish anything. The Senate bill that was proposed for us to consider last week was an abomination. It would normalize illegal immigration. It would normalize 5,000 people coming across a day. I mean, that adds up awfully quick. And we have to have that at net zero. In terms of being something that I would support. If someone came forward with a solution that would fix our border problems, which would be basically to seal the border, to finish the wall, to end the loopholes in asylum, all the things that we've included in our bill, H.R. 2, which sits at the Senate with no action, I would support it wholeheartedly. I don't care who's in the White House. We have to seal the southern border. We have to stop the invasion of our country, and we have to protect our citizens.
Critics probably would also say to you, Congressman, that though this is largely symbolic, this House move is largely symbolic because it will fail in the Senate, people would probably say, gosh, the House has been incredibly divisive already over the past year, 2 years. Shouldn't the House be focusing on things that actually affect the American people on a daily basis? And we're not saying about the border specifically, but the job of Alejandro Mayorkas.
The border is the job of Alejandro Mayorkas. Protecting the American people is the job of the Department of Homeland Security. Our homeland is less safe since he's taken office. And that's why this was an important, albeit symbolic step, that, he is an impeached cabinet secretary. Again, it hasn't happened in many, many decades, but it does put this president on clear notice that the border is on the front lines of the public policy debate. And as I said before, the fentanyl pouring across our border, the people coming from all corners of the world invading this country and being tagged as asylum seekers. This is a homeland security matter. This is a national security crisis.
All right, let's move along from this a little bit. Tom Suozzi, he just won that seat that was obviously vacated from George Santos. Does that make you guys nervous? The Democrat now coming in. I mean, it's going to be very close, the numbers there. Okay. Does that make you nervous at all?
Hey, listen, we're in a very narrow House. I hate to see us lose any seat, but this, George Santos had to go, and he had lost the support of his constituents, and it was time for him to leave, and we took care of that. We had a great candidate, Tom Suozzi, someone that was very well known, former county executive, candidate for governor, as well as a former congressman from that district. So he was very well known by those constituents, and was elected tonight. So we will have another election just in a few months. That's the thing with the House of Representatives; these come up every 2 years. So we have a very narrow majority. This is the way it came out on Election Day last year with a 4-seat majority. It's a little narrower now. Mr. Higgins is gone, so there's a vacancy there. But this is going to be nip and tuck for the rest of the year. There's going to be really, I think, a more of a focus on stopping the Biden spending agenda than anything going forward, because that is another great crisis that our country faces.
All right, Congressman Nick Langworthy, thank you so much for joining us this evening. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Congressman.